What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Bad Batch Season 1 tech. And in this video, we're going to look at the accuracy, the accessories, design of the box, and the articulation of the figure. So let's go ahead and go straight into this review. So the first thing we're going to look at is the box. As you can see, this is an open window box. Now, at a short time period, they did have the closed window box, but now they finally have that open window box, which I do prefer that. So here's just a quick overlook of the box. You guys can see the figure in the front. He does come with two accessories. If you even count the helmet as an accessory, he has one weapon and a few tools on his belt. So let's go ahead and unbox this and show you guys exactly what the tech figure looks like. So here's a quick tray shot of tech. You guys can see that right there. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the accessories first before we get into the figure. So the first accessory we're gonna look at is his helmet, obviously, because this is basically a main accessory that all these figures have, is their iconic helmet. Now this thing does go down, which is kind of cool because he does have this feature in a few episodes where he does close it, I guess as a rangefinder or just for repairs and stuff like that. But you guys can see the quality of this helmet. You guys can see the glare of the goggles. I'm pretty satisfied with the way it looks. Pretty good amount of detail as well. And the inside looks pretty hollow. Of course, it doesn't matter how the inside looks, but placing the helmet is fairly easy. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the other accessories that he comes with. So something else he does have is backpack. Now, I'm not sure if I really want to consider this an accessory, but it does come off. So, it depends how you want to look at it, but it's really well detailed. Now, if this had some weathering, it would be kind of nice, like some black wash on there. I really guess you can't complain. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the other stuff. Now, he only comes with one blaster, which I don't even remember if he does have more than one in the show. But this one blaster does, does the trick as far as, adding accessories. Now, he does come with 3 tools on his belt, and we're going to go ahead and look at that real quick. So this is one of the tools that Tech does have in his belt, which is actually really cool. I didn't even think that he came with 3. I thought it was just 1. These are the other 2 accessories. And I'm not really sure what this is, but it did come in his belt. So we're going to go ahead and look at the figure and show you guys the accuracy as well as the articulation of the figure. So here we finally got the figure, and this is Tech from the Bad Batch Season 1. This is actually pretty cool. Now, none of these figures are really heavily weathered. Not sure exactly why, but the armor itself looks pretty good as far as the paint application and the adaptation from animation to realistic. Does seem pretty cool as far as accuracy wise. Now, obviously, the head sculpt looks a little different than the other ones because these clones are supposed to be like defective, so they don't really look like the other versions or other clones that they have. Now, you guys can see, like I mentioned before, he does have a belt that comes with other tools, and he has a bunch of like detail in his armor, a bunch of straps and pouches. Now, something that I saw that was kind of a downside to this, that he doesn't have a holster for his blaster. But it's not really too much of a big deal because usually you'll keep those in his hand anyways. But just figured I'll note that. Now, if you don't put the backpack on the back, you guys can see that there is a little peg hole. So it is something that you probably have to keep on all the time if you don't want to see that hole right there. But overall, as far as accuracy wise, I'll definitely give this figure a nice 8 out of 10. I mean, it does resemble Tech from the TV show. Obviously, animation and realistic is slightly different as far as like style, because on the show it does look a little bit more weathered, but I really can't complain all that much. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the articulation of this figure. So with most figures, I do prefer double jointed joints, like double jointed knees and double jointed elbows. So we're gonna go ahead and see what he has. So this figure does have single jointed. I mean, it slightly goes past 90 degrees, but it is single jointed. It's definitely not double jointed. And when it comes to the knees, I guess the knees are the same. Now, if this was double jointed, it probably wouldn't even work because of the armor, but I guess I really can't complain all that much. Single jointed knees and single jointed elbows, and it does have regular articulation here on the ankle. It's not on a ball joint, it's on a hinge, so it just goes forward and back, and there's no toe articulation. When it comes to the hand, it is on a hinge and not on a ball joint, so it is slightly restricted. And when it comes to the arm, it does do 360. It goes slightly up, not really. It doesn't really want to go higher than this. Not sure exactly why, and it feel like it's gonna break or something like that. I don't know. It might. I don't know. It feels like it might have butterfly joints, but I'm not really entirely sure. I mean, it doesn't want to click. It doesn't really want to move all that much, so I don't want to force it. But I don't think it has butterfly joints. It may, but it doesn't really look like it. But overall, the articulation is pretty bad. So when it comes to ab crunch, he slightly goes forward and then goes back pretty decent, I guess. Not that great either, but forward non-existent. So when it comes to the head, now his head isn't on a hinge. It's kind of like on a ball joint or something like that. So the neck and the head seems like it's on one piece. I don't know. It kind of feels kind of weird, but his head goes up like that. It goes down, left and right. Pretty decent in my opinion. When it comes to articulation, I think I'll give this figure a 6 out of 10. It's really not that great. Don't like single jointed figures. I prefer double jointed, especially with these new figures nowadays. They are, charging them a lot more, and some of them are single jointed. This one came out a while back, so I guess that's why it's single jointed. Not really entirely sure. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all the accessories that he comes with and put it on the figure so you guys can see what it looks like. So putting all the accessories on this figure really isn't all that hard. You guys can see that I have the blaster on his hand, all the tools on the belt. I got the backpack on the back, which it does fit pretty firm. I don't really got to worry about it wiggling out or coming off. And the helmet is pretty firm onto the figure. It comes off and on pretty decent. You just got to make it look up, and it comes. And the helmet goes on pretty decent in my opinion. His little visor goes down, like I mentioned before. Overall, this is a solid figure. I mean, maybe not so much for articulation wise, but just displayability is pretty decent in my opinion. When it comes to the overall design of the figure, articulation, accuracy, and accessories, I'll definitely give this figure a decent 7.5 out of 10. Although the articulation isn't that bad, I do like the open box. I do like some of the accessories that it comes with. These accessories didn't really have to be included, but they're there. The helmet is decent. The way it comes in and out is pretty decent. The backpack is pretty good. My only fault is, it would have been better if it had a slight weathering or wash to the armor, and and the articulation being kind of limited. But overall, I'm highly satisfied. So you guys comment down below, what is your favorite thing about this figure? The accessories, the accuracy, the box, or just the overall figure in general? Comment down below, what do you like about this figure? And let me know if you guys are going to get the season 1 or the season 2 tech. And I'll see you guys in the next one.